Hey Virgos, for your 2026 horoscope, we're going to do something a little different. We're setting aside the planets and the houses for a minute to look at your year through a totally different lens. A story about a broken bowl. Yeah, I know, it sounds weird, but trust me, this story might just change everything you think you know about perfection. Let's get into it. I want you to really picture this. You have that one coffee mug. You know the one, your absolute favorite. It just feels right in your hands. And then, whoops, it slips, it's falling. What is that split-second feeling that shoots through you? Ugh, that sound. It's the worst, right? That moment of impact. For Virgo, that instinct is usually just panic. A wave of failure. It's ruined, it's imperfect, it needs to go on the trash. But what if that's the totally wrong instinct? What if that moment of shattering wasn't an ending at all? What if it was actually a beginning? What if that imperfection is the most incredible opportunity you're going to have all year? It sounds completely backward, I know, especially for you guys, a sign that values order and things being just so. But you gotta stay with me here because this ancient idea holds a really powerful key for your entire year. To really get this, we have to take a little trip. We're going back centuries to Japan. It's a story about a powerful leader, a tea bowl he absolutely adored, and a crisis that led to a breathtaking discovery. So the legend goes that a Japanese shogun broke his favorite tea bowl and he was absolutely devastated. He sent it away to be repaired, but it came back held together with these ugly metal staples. It worked, sure, but it was hideous. He was horrified and challenged his own craftsmen to find a better way. And what they did, it was pure genius. They didn't try to hide the cracks. They did the exact opposite. They highlighted them, mending the pieces with a special lacquer mixed with pure gold dust. And this is the part that changes everything. When the shogun saw it, he was just stunned. The bowl wasn't the same. It was now covered in this incredible web of golden veins. It told a story. Its history, the fact that it had been broken, was now its most beautiful feature. This art form is called Kintsugi. It literally means golden joinery. And it's so much more than a repair method. It's a whole philosophy. It says that breakage and repair are just part of the history of an object, not something to cover up or be ashamed of. And that right there is the lesson for you in 2026. So, okay, how does an ancient Japanese art form actually apply to your life in 2026? Let's take this idea and turn it into a practical guide for your work, your relationships, and just your life. Virgos, let's be real, you are the editors of the zodiac. You see a flaw and you have this deep need to fix it. But 2026 is going to throw some messes at you that you just can't edit away. Kintsugi teaches that your value isn't in being flawless. It's in your history, your scars, all the things you've overcome. Your vulnerability isn't a weakness. This year, it's your absolute greatest strength. Okay, so that's the mindset. But how do you actually do this? In the moment, how do you choose gold over those ugly staples in your day-to-day life? Let's look at this comparison. When you make a mistake, the metal staple reaction is that harsh inner critic, right? You beat yourself up, you try to rigidly control everything to hide the damage. But the gold reaction? That's about treating yourself and the situation with compassion and with creativity. You stop asking, how do I pretend this never happened? And you start asking, how can this mistake actually make me or this whole project something more unique and resilient? This applies so deeply to your relationships. You often show your love by trying to be perfect for other people or by trying to fix all their problems. But think about it. A flawless, perfect object can feel kind of cold, can it? Distant, almost untouchable. But a kintsugi bowl with all its golden lines, it invites you in. It has a story. You want to touch it. And that's really the heart of it for your relationships in 2026. When you let people see your cracks, your struggles, your imperfections, they don't pull away. They lean in. They connect with your story. It's in those vulnerable moments that a real, deep connection is actually made. So as we wrap this up, let's bring it all together. It all comes down to one core truth and one final, powerful question for you to carry with you all year. Look, this isn't some pessimistic prediction. It's just life. Things won't always go according to plan. There will be moments where you feel like that shattered mug on the kitchen floor. The goal isn't to somehow avoid every crack and every break. That's impossible. The real question for you, Virgo, is what you're going to do when those moments happen. Are you going to try to hide the damage with the ugly staples of self-criticism and fear? Or are you going to have the courage to pick up the pieces, mend them with the gold of self-compassion, and create something even more beautiful than what you had before?